Welcome, everybody, to the Let Purple Rain podcast. Please like and subscribe. I'm your host, Joe Arpasi, otherwise known as Purple Rain. I started my CFF work in 2008, and I returned after 8 years away in 2024, now under the moniker Purple Rain. You can follow me on X on the handle that you see on the screen. You can also find all of my content at letpurplerain.com. Some announcements that I have here. May at letpurplerain.com. I am going to be doing the Damaged Goods Spring Camp Injury Recap. I'm also going to be diving headfirst into draft preparation. I'm going to be starting things off with a Cornering the Market article about handcuffs. I'll also be doing an article about risers and flyers, nuclear options, and spring transfer portal update. I'm also excited to bring you this special promotional event, so go ahead and check it out.
Do you love college football? Do you love fantasy football? My name is Joe Arpasi, and I have just the thing for you. I'm the man behind LetPurpleRain.com, your premier college fantasy football resource. And I'm going to take college fantasy football. The winner of my league is going to take home this custom championship belt provided by the state sponsor, ArmChampionshipBelts.com. You want a chance to be in this bad boy? Go to LetPurpleRain.com, sign up to please try today. All things subscribers automatically enter the Arpasi Mixes League. I'm going to watch all the way live. That means the longer you're being subscribed, the more chances you have to enter into this 52 man challenge. We're going to be we're going to be fantasy football. We're not going to be against me. We're going to be against fantasy sports, fantasysports.com, Jared Ulrich from Chasing the Podcast, and Kids.com, and John McKinney from BillWire.com. So just sign up for free subscribe at LetPurpleRain.com, so you never chance to go take the show. Not going to miss out, just win this baby, because it's always just
I am so pumped to be hosting the 2025 Battle for the Belt 52-man League Challenge. Special thanks go out to Arm Championship Belts for being this event's sponsor. I'll be doing the third of 6 golden ticket giveaways live here on YouTube on Wednesday, May 7th. If you aren't already a premium subscriber, please sign up now and you'll automatically be entered into all the remaining golden ticket giveaways. I'm also going to recommend my CFF apparel shop. I've got links in the description below, short sleeve t-shirts, long sleeve t-shirts, tons of colors, can koozies. I'm even sporting one of them here. I'm trying to do it, guys. Sorry. I drafted, I dominated. Go ahead and check it out. I've got these items available for you. And this right here is the Diary of a Draftman mock draft series. In these episodes, I will be conducting live mock drafts and giving you an immersive experience into my mind as I draft my college fantasy football teams. Today, I'm going to be reviewing my April mock draft. YouTube will be the home of the preview show. I'm going to cover the first 10 rounds of this 30-round draft at live as it happens. And then LetPurpleRain.com will be the exclusive home for the main show, which will be covering rounds 11 through 30. As the draft ensues, I'll be explaining my thought process as I draft my team. You'll also see my player queue as I provide insights on who I'm looking at possibly drafting next. As the year goes on, I'm going to be using different strategies, and today's the first day I'm about to do that, as well as participating in underdog drafts. On today's show, what I am going to be doing for a draft strategy is a long QB wait strategy. I think this is a very good strategy for this year's crop of players. So this is the first alternative draft strategy I wanted to feature. During rounds 1 through 10, I'm going to focus purely on stockpiling running backs and receivers. When it comes to the quarterbacks, I would prefer to wait until round 10 to draft a quarterback, but I'm going to give myself a little bit of flexibility here, and I'll let myself draft my first quarterback as early as round 8. The rest of them, I want to wait until round 10 or later. And the goal is to have my top 4 quarterbacks all by round 15. So you're going to wait, and then load up in the middle of the draft. For waiting for tight end, I'm going to let other players start the initial tight end run. And then once I do get that first tight end, I'll be looking to draft my tight ends 2 through 4 after round 19. So I'm just going to push tight ends late in this one. While all that is going on, when I'm not getting quarterbacks and tight ends, I'm just going to be continuing to stockpile running backs and receivers. Now that I got that out of the way, let's dive into some college fantasy football. All right, I'm going to get all of my screens set up here, guys. So bear with me while I'm just kind of checking everything. I know last time my camera looks a little delayed. Last time we had some camera issues. I'm hoping that's going to be fixed. I'm keeping an eye on it on my right here. And let's see. I want to make sure that this draft is. I'm just going to do a refresh. I am running 2 different screens, so bear with me, guys. All right, this should, yep, there we go. And we're off and live. So on my screen right now, what I'm going to explain to you guys, I have my ADP player rankings up in the player queue. I'm just going to be using that, but I'm not going to be going purely based off of those rankings. You're going to see me bounce around quite a bit here. So I'm not really thinking about going exactly as these are, but I just wanted to have something a little more updated. So we're getting to be my pick here. Running backs are going off the board, and that's really where I'm going to lean. And I've mentioned this before in several podcasts. In early drafts, early part of the year, I really do like to try and spread the wealth and draft different players. Malachi Hughes, Washington Edwards. I haven't gotten any pieces of them. So right now, as I'm looking down this list, I'm just going to go ahead with Hughes, make him my guy. I've got a little delay going on my end with my computer and the monitors, so bear with me. But we got a good first piece here. We got a running back. I typically like to go wide receiver with that second pick. So I'm going to swap over to wide receivers. Just keep an eye on who's there. I kind of like to do those first 2 rounds balanced just because I want to get a good top end running back and a good top end wide receiver, just so I've got 2 reliable guys I feel like could be pretty steady. Looking for high floors with these guys. And yes, I do have my beers. I do have my golden treats here. I told you I'm putting you guys in my mind as we go. So I'm going to be drinking beer. And speaking of which, let's have a sip. The other thing that I do on the main show, I can't do it here on YouTube, is I like to listen to music when I draft, guys. I like to rock out. I can't do that here on YouTube. I'm going to get slapped with a bunch of copyright strikes. So you're just going to have to listen to my boring voice for 10 rounds here. And running backs are still going super heavy. So I do like this for a good receiver to be able to fall back to me. I might keep my eye on running back just if that well looks like it's really drying up and there's someone I like. But for right now, I'm just going to keep the wide receivers here in my queue. When I look at my preview, the video looks delayed from when I'm talking. I'm hoping that's not what you see on your guys' end. It's much better than the strobe effect that I had last time, but this is still brand new, me trying to set this up, and I'm running 2 different windows, internet windows with this draft as well, so you can get a big picture of my queue and a big picture of the board. So I'm still working out the kinks, guys. This is the second one. I'm just praying this delay that I see over on my right is not the way that's going to be coming out on the recording. So let's just hope that we get a clean one here. All right, we finally got a wide receiver off the board. We're moving at a pretty good pace here, guys. Early on here, when things are kind of understood, like the first 2 rounds, we kind of know directions a lot of people are going, And this year it's been very running back heavy. As you look at this board, I think we've had two wide receivers. Everybody else has been a running back. So this really has been the way that you see things kind of playing out. Um, so this does not surprise me one bit. Still going heavy with the running backs. I'm going to peek back over at the running backs and just see what we've got available as it's coming to me. Singleton, Hardy, Coleman, Durham, Haynes. I'm going to say this. If Donaldson is sitting there with this pick, I might take him. I've not gotten a piece of him yet, and I think he's going to be huge this year. Absolutely freaking huge. Um, so I think he's the only guy. As I'm looking at this queue right now, I'm going to scroll down a little more as well. Um, yeah, I think it's just if I see Donaldson, I'm just going to say screw it, guys. I'm going to go double tap at running back and then just see the best I can do at wide receiver because wide receivers are slipping. So we're two picks away from me. And I may be taking Donaldson here. All right, we're going with Donaldson. Now we're definitely locked in at wide receiver. I like this start, especially the volume and stuff that I think Fresno's going to have. And I think they're a good enough team that they'll be able to run the ball down people's throats. Um, my gut tells me Donaldson will end up being a guy that should have been a first round pick. That's just where my gut's leaning right now. And I've not run my projection yet, guys. Um, but that's why I'm doing a reach and taking Donaldson here. Just I want to get a share of him. Teaming him up with Hughes, who I don't think Hughes is going to be huge, but I think he's going to be a very, very good, steady performer. So I'm going to take that. And I like a lot of these wide receivers that I've got here. Just because I've not gotten a piece of him yet, I think I'm going to go Messer. And if he's not available, then McAllister. I think that's where I'm really going to lean as I'm looking down this list. I'm going to scroll a little bit and see who else we've got down here. If there's someone that kind of grabs my eye, which right now, and honestly, I'll say Coleman. Um, there's not been a lot of news out of Coleman out of spring camp, but Hurry, who was getting a lot of news, had just transferred out. And I think it pretty much kind of looks like this should be Coleman's job to be the man. I'm going a bit more upside here, taking some big swings with my early draft picks. But because I'm going to be stockpiling so many running backs early and doing that long wait at quarterback, I don't mind, taking a shot here. Um, I don't know if Messer will make it to round three, but if he does, I'm probably definitely going after him. McAllister, I think, would definitely be gone, or excuse me, by round four. Nope, there goes Messer. Okay, Messer's not going to be there. So I definitely think we're probably going Coleman and then McAllister if he's left. And if not, um, I'm not as high on Mosley as some other people are. I do think I've gotten a piece of Sowell. If I want to shoot for upside, I think maybe we'll just take Ashlock. Um, I think there's a bit of risk there, but I don't mind taking that shot. Do I have Coleman on the screen? Now I've got Coleman on the bottom of that queue, so I kind of leave him there. I think it's going to probably come that way to us here with this next pick. All right, we're getting Coleman. And right now, to be honest with you, I think I'm probably just going to put this on all players. So I can kind of keep an eye on running back and wide receiver. Demond, wow, round three. That's really early, but I like the pick. Um, it's just so hard, guys, to predict with Demon Williams what his rushing production is going to be because we've never seen a real running quarterback for Jed Fish. So for me, this is really it's tough because he was averaging about 20 rushing attempts per game in the 2 games he started. A number of those rushing attempts were sacks, so it's really difficult to kind of gauge like, are they going to give him 10 carries? John Coleman, they never gave him more than 15 carries a game, so I cannot picture them giving Demon Williams 15 carries a game. I have a feeling they might be kind of spreading some things out. Right, things are really bouncing fast, and there goes Ashlock. Um, things are working around really quick here. If we want to play some upside, I mean, Sire Gaines has really been dropping in the eyes with my, actually, yeah, with my stock reports. Um, this is a best ball league format we're doing. So the hope is, maybe he really kicks it on late. I want to look at those running backs again. Look at him, just the running backs. Justice Haynes, where I think they're probably going to do split carries. I think Frazier is a safe play here. I do have some shares of him. I think Sire Gaines would just be a big up play, but I don't think I want to take a shot this early on him. Wisner and Jam Miller, I do like quite a bit. I think they're pretty safe plays in this group. Jalen Ott, even though he went to Oklahoma, I don't know how much I really like that one, to be honest with you. We've not had a ton of production out of Ben Arbuckle's offense. So I'm kind of hesitant there. And we're over on me here. Just because I don't have a piece of him, I'd probably rather wait another round, but I'm going to take White. Well, let me look at the receivers. We got Wisner, and at receiver, Mobley. I like Sowell a lot, and it's kind of hard to pass on him here. Stribling, I think, could be good. We got some question marks. I have drafted him before. What's my clock at? I'm at 30 seconds. I've taken a lot of Bell, so I'm going to stay away from him here. Concepcion. Guys, looking here, I think I'm going to take Sowell. I'm thinking he might be a little safer pick. I've got a balanced right now, 2 running backs, 2 receivers. In my traditional draft strategy, guys, I like to come out of the first 4 rounds this way. I want to have 2 solid players, both at running back and wide receiver. Now, give me a good foundation for building those 2 position groups up. I have a feeling I'm definitely going back to running back here. If Wisner's there, I definitely want to take him. Yeah, Frazier just went. So that, once again, he's that safer play. Jam Miller, I mentioned, was another guy. Shane Bangora, I don't know if I want to take him this early, but Damian Taylor, I would have taken him if he didn't transfer away from Troy, but he's gone. Kamari Moulton, there's still question marks if he'll be the guy, if there's going to be split carries. So really, as I'm kind of looking here, Jam Miller and Wisner are the 2 I'm kind of liking the most. And I'm going to keep just going down a little ways here. Kendrell Bullock, I do like him, maybe not yet. Oh, there we are. I lost where I was at, guys. Sorry. We're up next. So Jam Miller and Wisner. I don't know how good CJ Baxter is going to be at the start of the year. Even if he does come in healthy, he may not be a full strength. So I think Wisner could be a guy who could get a bigger share of this Texas backfield than other people, or people might think it's more of a 50-50 split. I'm just going to take the shot on Wisner here, thinking that even if he's getting 65, 75% of that rush workload, that's still going to be really good with this offense. You guys have been seeing that I've been putting out the CFF coaching systems series, the different podcast episodes, and Texas running back is one of those coveted things to get, guys. And really, I would say every single guy that I've drafted so far has come that they're a player that would be featured on one of those offenses. I think I'm going to take that back. The only guy that doesn't fit was Hughes. The Oregon running backs, I don't believe, made either the workhorse running back or the PPR running back episodes. Sire Gaines went. I'm going to flip back over to receiver here, guys, and let's kind of look at what some of our options are here. Stribling is still out there, and I was really debating him when I took Sowell. There he went. Of course, speak of the devil. Ryan Wingo, I think, will probably still be the guy. He plays on the outside. Mobley has been playing more in the slot and stuff, and like a balanced mix. And the outside guy always tends to be the one who seems to be getting the main target. So I like Wingo from that standpoint. Tate, I'm not big. I'm not high on Tate. I think he might be the wide receiver 3 of that group. Yannick Smith does interest me. I just don't think this early. As we continue, actually, Dane Key. I like Dane Key. I think he might be a guy that maybe I'm going to go back to in the next round here. But Wingo, yeah, I'm going to go with Wingo here. I know I'm doubling up on Texas guys, but Dane Key, the more that I covered some of these episodes talking about the passing game at Nebraska, the more I've reflected on it after recording these, I'm really kind of thinking Dane Key might be that dude at Nebraska. And with Dana Holgerson's offense, I really like getting a piece of that. I kind of know then like where we want to go if there's receiver, if Key's there. We're going to peek back over at running backs and just see who we have here. And Dean Connors is a guy I do like a lot. Jam Miller's still sitting out there who I like. Jam Miller and Peoples. I've gotten Peoples. I don't think I've had Jam Miller at all, and I've not gotten Dane Key, so I'm probably leaning them. There's Fluff Bagwell, who I'm not a big fan of. But Kendrell Bullock's another guy I really like. I could see myself taking him at any point right now. I'm not totally sold on Cam Cook, so I wouldn't take him this high. Oh, Deja Rears. Oh, Deja Rears. With Amos leaving, Sutton Smith is still going to be injured, just like I'm talking about with Wisner. You don't know what shape he's going to be in, how much of a workload he's going to get. And DeRoziers, I think, might be getting a much bigger share with Amos transferring out than some people are thinking. So as long as he's here, I'm going there. If Dane Key's available, Dane Key's going to be my backup option here. A lot of UTSA guys going. I like that. I'm liking that offense a lot, guys. The UTSA offense, I'm big on. I'm big on for this year. And I have got 4 picks remaining in this preview show, guys. Once again, I'm going to be doing rounds 1 through 10 here in the preview show on YouTube, and then rounds 11 through 30, the remainder of the draft. I'm going to be drafting on the main show, which will be exclusively at letpurplerain.com for premium subscribers. I say it all the time, guys. Premium subscribers especially, you guys are the ones who are able to allow me to keep doing this and keep devoting the time to this work. So I appreciate all of you guys. All of you guys that are participating here. I know I'm spieling while my pick is up, so let's take Dave Rozier's. I'm going to flip back over. If Key's there, I really want him. But I really appreciate you guys and the way that you're able to allow me to keep this going. I paused because I lost Dane Key. Where is he in here? There he is. I see him. Just got to get him up a little higher so you guys can see him. There he is. All right. I'm still seeing that delay on my preview screen, guys. So I'm hoping, praying to God that my video and audio aren't out of sync. But like I said, at least it's not the weird strobe effect that I had going on before. So I did mention round 8 is the earliest I could go at quarterback. Quarterbacks have really been flying here. So I'm going to switch over and let's take a look at who's there. Oh, shit. stuff. If Veltkamp is there, I might really just have to lean into that one, guys. A lot of these other guys, I'm willing to wait on. Scroll down and look at some of these. Yeah, I'm really willing to wait on the bulk of guys that I'm looking at here. But Veltkamp, if he's there, I said I wanted to do a long wait, so I'm going to do this, guys. I'm going to wait at least one more round. If Veltkamp falls to me, great. If he doesn't, this is still going to fall in line with that idea of let's wait on quarterback and really wait while we stockpile. And Dane Key's a guy I love for doing this, for stockpiling. I'm at 4 running backs. He would be my 4th wide receiver here. I just have to dodge 2 more bullets. Let's try and look at if there's any backup options that I'm really liking here. Evan Stewart, I'm not as big of a fan of. Coy Eakin, he's not here, but I'm looking at Caleb Douglas. Coy Eakin's a guy, actually, I do kind of really like. I think he could be a good one. We got 1 bullet left to dodge. Coleman, I think, could be really good. I think there's a lot of question marks of who that main guy is going to be at North Texas, so I'm not quite ready to pull the trigger there. Carlos Hernandez, I think. Oh, I don't need my backup. We're going to take Key. And we'll flip over to quarterback. We're going to pray that Veltkamp slides. He's the top guy available for ADP. And if I can't get him, I'd want someone kind of reliable. I just see a lot of guys I feel like I could wait on because we had such a heavy run at quarterback, but I think that's okay. As part of this approach is you're just going to slam a whole bunch of guys in a row. Like for me, I'm going to be sitting there once round 10 or 11 hits, and it's just going to be quarterback, 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 quarterback. So I'm going to, get this one beer here, pound it down, and polished off and get a new one going. Play college fantasy football, guys. That's where it's at. Once again, you can find that koozie on my merchandise shop. Link is in the description. Also, when you go to my website across the top where I have the different sections, there goes Veltkamp. Sniped. All right, guys. Let's take a look at running back. Actually, I'm going to go all positions and look at it this way. Just play pure ADP here since I am pretty balanced. Taylor's there. I'm not a big fan of that. Jam Miller's still there. I think he's a lock for me because, someone already took Kendra Bullock. So I like Jam Miller a lot as I just keep scrolling through this here. There are not very many running backs there as well. So we're going to go Jam here. I've got 1 pick left here in the preview show. When I make that pick, guys, I am going to be kind of wrapping up the show. There'll be a little delay before I come in with the main show, so I'm going to try and do it quickly for you guys. So hang in there. You're probably going to miss a couple of picks. I've got the running backs up, so I'm kind of I'm going to talk out what I'm thinking here, looking at these options. Right now, I'm trying to find someone I kind of like the idea of. Malik Sherrod, I think, could be really good at the start of the year, and he's going to fade later. I don't know how high I am on him. Gauze is a guy I really do like, okay? I don't know if I want to reach for him here this early. Ruben Owens, I'm big on Ruben Owens, guys. He's really the only healthy one in this Texas A&M backfield, running backs are really going strong right now. And since I'm not huge on a lot of these options, I could wait on him. We'll peek at wide receivers, but he stands out as my favorite guy right now. I think I'm definitely much higher on him than the college fantasy football industry consensus is. I was just looking at Yannick Smith. Dang. Um, Michael Coleman, I do like quite a bit. Carlos Hernandez. I am really kind of interested to see what he's going to do here. I think I'm going to take a shot on him, guys. I'll scroll down a little bit more. We're on my pick now. Coy Eakin's another one I do really like. So looking at this, I think Carlos Hernandez could have a big year. I think he's underappreciated. He's been pushed down these. So I'm going to wrap this up here, guys. I'm going to take Carlos Hernandez over at Wake Forest. And, you know, I want to thank all of you guys for watching the Diary of a Draftman April Mock Draft preview show here on the Let Purple Rain podcast. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I want to thank you guys all for watching. Head on over to letpurpleраin.com to watch the rest of the draft. Link is in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, check out the rest of my mock draft shows. You're going to find a link at the end of this video. Thanks for joining the Let Purple Rain podcast. Your CFF reign starts here.